Now, the Horn of Africa is facing its third consecutive year of drought. The UN is on record stating that this is the worst hunger crisis since 1945, with millions on the brink of starvation. Somalia, Kenya's neighbor, has said that half of the country is affected. CGTN's Beatrice Marshall tackled the subject with the Director General of the Africa Risk Capacity.
Mr. Beavogui, thank you very much for giving us your time. I want to start with something you said earlier on about the extent of the drought and the countries affected in Africa. Let's start from there, from 2015. How badly has Africa been hit by the drought situations and climate change?
The continent is being hit more and more frequently by drought, but not only drought, but also floods, and recently even cyclones. And this is due to climate change. We have seen a frequency in the rhythm of disasters that are occurring and that are climate generated. As I was explaining just now, if you remember, in 2015, it was the whole Sahel that was affected. And then in 2016, we had El Nino. And the part of Africa that was most affected by El Nino was the southern Africa. And then this year, we have the Horn of Africa with Kenya, with Somalia, South Sudan, Ethiopia, you know, and a very, very, very big drought. So that's why we Africans decided to think about a concept that is based on solidarity, because drought doesn't hit everybody at the same time.
How exactly is this help coming along? Because how exactly is Africa coping then with those droughts, with the floods, with the climate-related changes?
The way humanitarian assistance works today is that the disaster happens first, and then appeals are launched. By the time the response arrives, you have lost lives, you have lost assets, and you have economic setback. So therefore, the system is not really effective. And again, that's why ARC is coming and saying, let's plan, let's have a contingency arrangement. Make sure, first of all, that we understand our risk profile. Once we understand our risk profile, we can plan to respond to the risk.
When you talk about let's plan, let's understand our risk profile, so what exactly is in place to plan, to mitigate? What's in place from ARC?
From ARC, what is in place is the use of a cutting-edge software that is called Africa Risk View, connected to several satellites and monitoring climate. So with that software, one can exercise an early warning. Then you know when the drought is coming. You can see when the flood is coming. And based on that, you can organize yourself, because you can define your risk profile vis-à-vis the peril that is coming.